Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on dictatorships or government in general. I do know that democracies are better for the people who live in them than dictatorships are. That doesn't mean democracies are perfect. It just means that they're better. In any country, there are always a certain amount of people who support the government that's in power, some who are dead set against it, and there are also a large amount of people who don't much care who's running the country. They just want to live their lives. In a democracy, these people are often what you might call the swing vote. See, the thing a democracy has going for it is that it has a revolution built into the system. At certain intervals, people vote, and the people who are not committed to either party, if they decide that they don't like the one in power, they're the ones who voted out. In a dictatorship, the party in power stays in power, and the people get no chance to vote it out. If an election is held, the government usually decides who you get to vote for. So the election is pretty much meaningless. So a dictatorship doesn't have to be popular or even supported by a majority of the people to stay in power, as long as the people are more afraid of the government than angry at it. When the people's anger outweighs their fear, that's when a dictatorship ends. And when a dictatorship ends, it is usually with a lot of violence and the death of the people in charge. Dictatorships are always corrupt, too. Dictators are not interested in serving the people. They think that the people should serve them. And dictatorships are thin-skinned. They don't tolerate criticism. A lot of times, it's a crime. You can be thrown in jail, tortured, and even killed just for criticizing the government. And an example of the thin skin of dictatorships has been what we've seen last week in China. Even though the criticism wasn't from their own people, it came from outside, it showed just how thin-skinned and petty the dictators in China are. But if a government will not listen to criticism, it can't know what the problems are. It can't know what the people are dissatisfied with. And so those problems can't be solved. They can't improve their performance. And that's how the people's anger builds. A lot of people think that democracy will triumph over dictatorships every time. This is not necessarily true. Let's face it, there are dictatorships in this world that have been in power for years. South Korea, China, Russia. Russia was even making moves toward becoming a democracy and then rushed back into the arms of dictatorship. Even when a dictatorship falls, it's often followed by another dictatorship. The only difference is that the oppressed and the oppressors switch places. Democracy is messy. It's often inefficient and can be easily manipulated. Our democracy is currently in big trouble. The wealthy have way too much power and influence. Polarization has resulted in an inability to work together to make things better for anybody. And Republicans are trying to create a pseudo-democracy by using voter suppression tactics, making it impossible for those who would vote against them to get to exercise their vote. And we have a president who is working actively against the rule of law and the Constitution and getting away with it. So democracy doesn't automatically triumph. Right now that battle is being fought around the world and right here. And it is anybody's guess who will win. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos, and I don't even have to put commercials on. So, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So, Patreon, Top Buzz, the links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.